customer kicked
If
off.
you're looking for a laugh while cleaning a roof, got to kill some time making windows sublime, you got the right plan with Ryan and Gavin. Welcome to the Uncleanables Podcast.
On the page.
Hopefully you don't have no problems like you did with Dan.
No, I bought this thing that plugs into the plug, and it keeps it constantly powered. So
Is that what happened with his one?
Yeah, basically the thing ran out of battery, and because it died without finishing the recording, the camera didn't tell it to finish the file and become a movie file. So it's just an open-ended file.
That's way above my pay grade.
Well, yeah, I only know because I tried to sort it out. So yeah, I found this bit of software. I think it was the dodgiest software in the world. Downloaded it, put it in. Everything's like working fine, and then it just stopped at like 1.6%. I was like,
mate.
So I thought I'll leave it. So it was a 32 gig file. So it was like the first hour. So I'll just leave it. Come back 2 hours later, it's not moved. So I'm back to the drawing board. Turns out the software only allows you to use up to 2 gigs. So I had to chop it into 2 gigabyte files.
Right.
Then it turns out that those 2 gig, so the software's free unless you pay for it. You see. The free software only does 50% of the file, won't do 100%. So I had to then cut it in half again. So I ended up with like 32 files or something, cut in half, duplicated them, stitched them together so it was 2 files, 2 of the same clip back to back. So when it done 50%, it gave me a full piece of clip.
I
had to do that 32 times or something, and one of them just wouldn't work at all for some reason. And another one, I got like, there were about 2-minute clips each, and the other one I got like 30 seconds of it. And I don't know what happened to the other minute.
Mate, I bet you were sitting there thinking, fuck.
I was like, if I can get 60% of it, I'll be happy.
There was enough, like out of like everything that, I mean, I watched 99% of it. I think I skipped a tiny bit in the middle because I was doing something at the same time, and I was like, but yeah, I watched it all, and there was no point of it that I thought, that don't make sense.
Luckily, the file that was missing, the one that I just couldn't work, was right at the beginning.
Right.
So you didn't really notice it.
Yeah.
And then it was just, if you're working and listening, you're not going to notice it. If you were watching it, you would notice it because the video jumped.
That's it, yeah, I didn't even realise you could lison to it. So I just watch them on Saturday morning. But I didn't even realise that, because that's the sort of thing.
More people watch it than they do listen to it. We get probably, well, it depends on the guest episodes, it's a little bit different. Because like more people tune in. But the normal episodes, probably twice as many people watch as they do listen. But the listeners get listens over time, whereas the watchers don't necessarily go up over time. So you get that initial flurry of watchers, and then you might get 1 or 2 that go back and watch every single one. Whereas the listens, because people listen whilst they're working,
that's it.
a lot more residual.
100%.
Right, so welcome back, guys, to the Uncleanables Podcast. I think this is episode 62, another special episode. We've got Gavin from Rayleigh Gutter Cleaning.
Rayleigh Gutter's on the website, Rayleigh Gutter Cleaning, Rayleigh Gutter Cleaning and Repairs. Depends where you're looking at it.
He goes by many names, call him what you want.
That's it.
Dan's not with us today. He has helped a friend of his move to Valencia.
Nice.
Drove there.
Did he?
Yeah. They got an early train on the way out there. Everything was going swimmingly. He left, I think, about 30 hours ago, and he's still not back.
Fucking hell.
Yeah, he's had a right mare coming back. So yeah, his train's been delayed. He was due to be back about 5 o'clock. Which we thought might work, but I don't know if they missed the train or it was delayed due to the weather or something. So he's not with us today, which is a shame because he was really looking forward to today.
He can catch up, he can watch it, can't he? And he can see.
So what we're going to do, I've just spoken to him. I've got how many customers did he get to this week. We're going to add in mine, Dan's and yours. And then obviously me and Dan will be a week ahead of everyone else. We'll fill in everyone else's another time because I've forgotten to do it. So the jingle's going to play now.
It's time for how many customers have you added to your business?
So So, I have added only one customer this week. So, just in explanation to that, I turned my ads off this week because of the time of year. I had a bit of a panic attack, and I thought I'm going to be spending a lot more money per lead because there's going to be less people looking for window cleaner. But then I thought that's bitch talk, so I've turned them back on. So hopefully next week that number's higher. Dan's actually added 5 new customers this week.
Decent.
So he is absolutely flying. I'll do them another time.
Were they window cleanings for Dan?
Probably not, no. I think Dan's only got about 3 window cleaning customers.
Oh, fair days.
So Dan's overtaken me on new customers now. But Gavin, I saw your comment. Tell the people how many customers
Right, so
you've added
this week, from when I run it, from Saturday to Saturday, like I think most people do, it was 24, I believe. I'll tell you what, that storm or mini storm that we've had has done you some absolute wonders. As soon as it rained, my phone was literally just going off.
You've over doubled the amount of new customers you've had in this week compared to the last 2 weeks. So I'm trying to do maths in my head right now, and it's not working. It's 24, 34, 44, 47. My pen's running out. Right, like I said, guys, I will add everyone else's, assuming they've left a comment with the customers that they've added. Actually, we won't know. You've added yours from...
Yeah, mine was...
From Dan's episode where we didn't ask.
Yes, that's it.
So we'll add everyone else's when they comment on
the
next weekend's episode. Cool. So let's jump straight into it.
Let's do it.
Tell us how you got started in external cleaning.
Right, well, I started... I mean, I was probably 19, not external cleaning. I was working in a supermarket.
Okay.
So I started off there just stacking shelves, just normal things 19-year-olds do. And very quickly, I got to the role of manager. Well, I think by the time I was 20, I was manager of this supermarket, and I thought, this is all right. I mean, I'm doing all right.
Doing well.
So I quickly learned a different side of business, but managing nonetheless, dealing with things. But it was stressful, like to the point of I was working 6 a.m. till 10 p.m. for about 6 months straight.
Overworked and underappreciated.
100%. And it burnt me out to a point I literally collapsed in store. I was like, no, fuck this. Do you know what I mean? This is ridiculous.
No one deserves that.
Nah, so I ended up leaving there. Then I went and done a bit of roofing work, which I spoke to you about, which is kind of like where I learnt the roofline work, the gutters, bits and pieces. That's still not where I was wanting to be though. I didn't like how he worked. It wasn't the same work ethic that I had. So then I left that, and my mates...
I guess that gave you that base knowledge.
It gave me it gave me an insight into being up in different situations, being on roofs, being in places you wouldn't ordinarily be.
Was he quite safe?
No.
No, okay.
Not at all. And that's what put me off, because I'm looking at that thinking this is ridiculous. Yeah, and I thought I don't want that person to be me.
No, exactly.
Do you know what I mean? So I left that. I wasn't there for long, but it was long enough to know this ain't going to work out. Again, he's down in a pub 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock. I don't drink. So to me, that just didn't work out. But I enjoyed that aspect of being outside, talking to customers, doing that side of things. But I wasn't in a position to really have a business or anything. And then my mate said to me, like, let's come and work with us. We deliver cars. I was like, oh, okay, that sounds like a sweet job. So I'd done that for a few years until we went travelling. And then I thought, it ain't fun anymore. Like, my mate's gone.
Working with your mates.
Yeah, we had a laugh all day. It was, we had good crack and that.
It's become work all of a sudden.
And now all of a sudden I'm getting put out with some bane, and I'm thinking, this is now serious. And I'm like, that's not me. I wanted to do something. And I'd always had an interest, obviously with the roofing, but I'd always had an interest in window cleaning. I don't know why. Our window cleaner from when I was a young lad, he'd always come round, he'd always talk, and I'd always be like, that seems like a pretty sweet job. In the summer, it always seemed like I never saw him in the winter. No. Do you know what I mean? But I thought, you know what, I'll see if he needs anyone. I had his number, and I gave him a shout, and I said, look, do you need anyone to come out? And he was like, do you know what? He went, my lads just quit, come out. And I was like, all right, brilliant. So I met up with him, done a bit of window cleaning with him.
Was he traditional?
He was traditional, yeah. But water-fed pole wasn't really a thing back then, because this is going back now 15 years.
So it's probably just coming into the
yeah,
scene.
like, but it was dear back then.
Yeah.
I think the poles were expensive. Like getting into it was a real expensive job. Not like nowadays where you can buy the cheaper sort of poles to get yourself started. So I went out of him. Again, it was all right, but I didn't get on with him like I used to when he'd come round to our house when I was a kid.
Different environment, isn't it?
Yeah, now it's work. It's not him just coming round, cleaning windows, having a laugh and let me climb up his ladder a bit. It's now all of a sudden I'm having to work, and he was a bit, I don't know, awkward with me. It just didn't seem right. So I was like, you know what? I don't need him, and it might sound a bit presumptuous, but I don't need him to be able to clean windows.
No.
I can learn how to clean a window. And I literally went home that day, after saying this ain't gonna work out, went home that day, I ordered a squeegee and a mop and bits and pieces, and I went to my back door and I practiced for 5-6 hours straight on that one piece of glass. Literally just going over and over and over until I'd literally got down the technique. Obviously it's not years of experience, but it's enough to get me by. And I thought, right, I need some customers. And I literally knocked on my next door neighbour's house, all the ones around where I live, and I think I got 3 jobs. And I was like, yeah, brilliant. I was like, all right, well, do you know what I mean? Yeah, I thought, oh, this is all right. I thought, right, but now I've got to get some ladders, get some bits and pieces, and I bought the sketchiest ladders. I swear they was made out of tinfoil. They was ridiculous, but I thought, that'll do me. And so I'd done my next door neighbour's house. She paid me, and I thought, do you know what, this is all right. Like, I've just been paid, I think it took me forever. It took me like an hour and a half to do this one house. And I was like, but I've made a bit of money for me. And it become addictive. And before I'd sort of done any of the others, I was like, I'm going to go out and knock on some more doors. And I went down the road, load of bungalows. So I thought, that way, I'm not climbing up ladders. I've not. Happy days. Yeah, I'll go and smash out all these bungalows. Yeah, easy work. And I went and knocked on probably 400 houses over the course of a few days. And I think I got must have been about 10 people. But to me, I thought, well, hang about, I've now got a day's work.
See, that's pretty good, because I think I would put a lot of people off. Only getting 10 jobs out of 400.
That's, see, my mindset's different.
I think that's a good conversion rate.
Of course it is. Yeah, what's that, 4%? It's, to me, I'm thinking, it might not be 4%, and probably somebody in the comments is going...
No, I think you're a bit right.
But to me, I saw 10 customers as an absolute win. I thought that's 10 more than I had this morning. And I understand some people thinking, oh, it's not a lot, and you're not going to be a millionaire on, 13, 14 customers by now. But I thought, if I go and do these 10 customers, and then the day after, I'll go and knock on some more doors. And it went like that, and slowly it built up. And I think over maybe a few months, I'd had maybe 100 customers or so. I can't really remember, to be honest. Something like that. But it was enough to tie me down. But I was working out of the back of my car. So I had, I don't know if you've seen the Little Giant ladders. They're a sort of step ladder, but they open out like that. And I've got the long ones that are long enough to go.
Kong ladders.
I think they do a few different. Wicks do some.
Bloody expensive.
Mate, tell me about it. But I thought that's all I need. I'll just need these step ladders. They extend up, and I'll reach every window in the world. Again, I was naive. They didn't, and I soon realised that I need better ladders to do it. But I got through. I was doing it, and I plodded along, and I stagnated a bit to a point where I thought, I need something more here. But it was at this point, my mate that had been travelling then come back, and he said, have you got any work? And I was like, not really. I was like, but you can come out with us if you want. And then he come out with us, and he was one that said to me about water-fed pole. I don't know how he knew about it, but he said to me, and I was like...
So did he didn't have any experience?
No, he didn't.
He just happened to have
He looked into it, and I think that he was thinking about doing something similar. He didn't want to do the traditional. He wasn't a fan of heights. And I was like, what's water-fed pole? I'm like, squirting water over... I was naive to it. And he showed me. He was like, watch this. And I was like, oh, that's going to make life way easier. So he bought all the gear, and he was like, well, let's just test it out. We'll go and do a few jobs and see what it's like. The first time we done it, I think we run the water through just the DI unit, and the water come out.
Yeah, around
terrible.
here it's not great.
Yeah, we didn't know what we was doing, and and I'm thinking, this is ridiculous. Like, this is shocking.
Yeah.
Like, I can't do it. It just doesn't work at all. Then we looked into it a bit more. I think we spoke to somebody else who was like, oh, you need this and that. We was like, okay. And it was at that point where he was like, I'm gonna go and do this my way, you do it your way, and I was like, that's fine. It didn't really work out. But at this point, I'm now thinking around about it. There's a way easier way of cleaning windows.
Yeah.
So I bought the gear, got all the stuff. I wasn't making my own water, I was buying it at this point from the place in Basildon. That's it, yeah. Going down there, and again, it got to a point over this. I think I was doing it for a few years, so I built up a decent customer base by now. I think I'd got to a point of, I counted them earlier, I think it was 589 customers.
That's fair, yeah.
Yeah, no, it was a mixture of 4 weeks, 6 weeks, 8 weeks, and I had a few 12-weekers on there.
Just touching on that, because that's a problem I'm preempted of having as I grow my business. Did you ever find that having 4, 6, 8 and 12 was just a nightmare?
It was horrible.
Always.
It was one of the worst things I've ever done. At the time, when somebody said to me, oh yeah, we need a window cleaner, but we only want every 6 weeks. I was like, yeah, that's fine, no worries.
That's exactly what I've been doing.
Didn't think about it.
Yeah.
And then you do your 4 weeklies and you get to your 6 weeklies, and then
the month after it'll be on the same, 2 months after it'll be on the same day.
And it was either not tying up or it was too much, and I was like, oh, that's never going to work out. And then I'd have the 8 weeklies, and if your 4 weeklies ran over because, I don't know, you had a week of bad weather, you'd get to your 8 weeklies, but then you're saying, right, now I've got to push them back.
Yeah.
And it was a nightmare, and like I say, stupidly, I took on every 3 months as well, because I was taking on everything.
Yeah.
Thinking, that's fine, I'll work it out. And at this point, I had my brother-in-law coming to work as well, and we were smashing the jobs out. It was decent.
So it's 2 of you, 1 van?
2 of us, 1 van. Yeah, he did have a van as well, but we was just going out in the 1 van, twin setup.
Yeah,
just absolutely
just
hitting it.
Out
yeah,
600 odd jobs.
Yeah, literally just piling them out, and it was brilliant. And then he come to me one day and said, Gav, like, I want to do it on my own. And I was like, okay, well, that's cool. I mean, he's with my sister and that. I thought, go and make something yourself. Brilliant. Like, I had no hard feelings at all, but I was all of a sudden left with a lot of work. I gave him some jobs, just like, here you go, just go and get started. I think he
probably helped you out a little bit as well.
It did help me out. It was, and I gave him, without sounding wrong, I gave him the shitter jobs.
Yeah,
because
you're not even the good ones.
No, exactly. And so he took those on board, a lot of them of which I think he still has now. Of which and I mean, we can talk about that, but yeah, I feel like he's made a couple of mistakes with his going forward, like with regards to pricing and that. But I was like,
is he still your brother-in-law?
Yeah, he still does it. Yeah. But it's so now I'm left with an absolute shitload of jobs. Yeah. And I'm trying to hit them all on my own. And I'm getting fatigued, tired, stressed, managing them all. Like you're texting, like, you know yourself, you text them the night before, you're texting 20 jobs or whatever you're texting, and then you have a couple say, oh, can we leave tomorrow? Can we do it next week? Or,
you know, sometimes when I'm really busy and they text that back, I'm like so happy.
Yeah, oh yeah, it can be a blessing in disguise.
And a few of them, they're like, oh, can you fit this in next week? And I've just started saying no. I said, you can skip a clean, or you can
that's
clean.
The best way.
I can't rearrange her because I'm already finding it difficult now, and I've added so really I've only just started growing or trying to grow, and I've added 14 jobs in the last 4 weeks. So I think if I left the ads on, it would be close to 20 a month. That's what I'm aiming for.
So with your new jobs though, so if you got, say, 2 phone calls tomorrow, 3 phone calls tomorrow, would you say, right, I can get to you when I'm next in that area?
So what I like to do first clean is I fit them in whenever I can. So if I've got a particularly quiet day, so like this week I've got no work on Wednesday and Thursday. It's a shitty time of year. Is what it is. I'm enjoying having some time.
Yeah, I bet.
But I might say, well, I come do you Wednesday morning.
Yeah.
I'll just squeeze you in. Yeah. And then when I'm there, I'll say to him, right, your next clean might not be however. Well,
till when you're
2, 4, 6, 8 or 12 like an absolute madman. But I'm not doing that anymore, so everyone who books in now will be 4 or 8. I probably will offer a quarterly clean just because they don't know what day I'm coming, so I can
it can work out,
whatever, and it's not an issue. So as long as I don't grow that quarterly amount too high, I can sort of squeeze them wherever they fit. But then I'll say to them, like, it will be, you know, your chosen amount of weeks, but it might be
there's going to be a bit of a gap.
What I've been doing recently as well is just taking all of my, so I've got a few days in the month that are the same every month. Don't need to touch them. But the ones that aren't like that, and I've got a mixture of 2, 4, 6, 8, 12s or whatever, I'll put them all onto like the Monday, and then I'll spread them out on the days where I'm in certain areas. So I'll put all the Rayleighs on Friday. I might not be able to do anything Thursday because I've got a bigger job. All the wherever's on Wednesday, and then whatever's left I'll just dot about. That's been working for me at the moment. But it's not going to work going forwards, and I know that.
That's the thing. It's hard getting them in and getting it, but I think you evolve. The more you do it, the more you'll get a system in it. And like I say, I don't need to tell you you've been doing it, but I found that things just sort of fell into place a lot of the time.
They might, but I'm going to try and give them a little push into the right place as well.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Because what I don't want to do is I don't want it to get on top of me, and then all of a sudden I'm flapping.
That's it.
Because I'm quite good under stress. I work quite well under stress. But if it gets too much, I'll shut down.
And that's exactly what happened to me. I was trying to do all of those jobs and then still getting more jobs coming in, and that at that point I said to the bloke that was running my website at the time for that, I said, shut it down, get rid of it. I got rid of I stopped posting on Facebook when I had Facebook back then. I don't have it now. I was like, just cut it all out. I said, I can't handle anymore.
We'll come back to that. You don't market on Facebook.
I don't. Do not use Facebook. I'm not on Facebook.
We've added 47 new jobs in the last 3 weeks. So we'll get to that. But I just wanted.
Yeah, no, that's cool. So and then I felt myself getting tired, thinking I'm not feeling right. And then I was at a job around the corner to here actually, and everything, my vision went, everything went, and I was like, next thing I knew, I'm at home. I don't remember leaving the job, packing my gear up, saying bye to the customer. I don't even know if I finished the windows. I went home, lay down, and I'd had a full-on breakdown. Everything I'd gone. I didn't work after that for 2, maybe 3 months. I couldn't do anything. It was.
I'm assuming you would have had in that time period a lot of customers trying to contact you as well.
Yeah, I told everyone.
It worse? Or?
No, do you know what? My customers were brilliant. I messaged them all. I was all up front and said, look, I've had a moment sort of thing. I'm not too well at the moment. Look, I understand if you want to get a different window cleaner. If not, brilliant. Like, I'll be with you ASAP. I think I lost maybe 5.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Everyone else. Everyone else was like, no worries, Gavin. Like, windows aren't going anywhere. It's a bit of dirt. And it was over the winter months as well. So people weren't too fussed with their windows. And I was like, okay, that's cool. I come out of it, but I thought I need to cut the windows down. So I gave some away. I sold some.
Sorry, having that time off, did you feel refreshed? Did you feel ready to go back into work? Or was it still
not at all.
A big burden?
No, it's still a big burden. I didn't feel well, I would say, for 2-3 years. It really did affect me to a point of I thought, am I going to ever feel
See, this
better?
is a good point that I think I heard someone talk about on another podcast I was listening to, being a business owner. Things like this happen. And whether you feel better or not, you need to get up and sort it out.
That's it, 100%.
The whole thing relies on you. And I mean, I guess you could have just shut it down and
I could have gone and got a 9 to 5 and something easy, no stress or less stress.
But solve any problems.
No, that's exactly it. And it wasn't ever going to be where I wanted to be. I wanted to be earning good money, being my own boss. And I thought, why am I going to throw that away? And I just had to ease back into it, and I think manage myself better. Like doing window cleaning, whatever it is physically demanding. And I think if you don't look after yourself mentally, physically,
absolutely.
you're not gonna get anywhere.
No,
it's like if you're eating shit all day long. Water for me was the biggest one. I used to drink just Pepsi.
Yeah, I was exactly the same.
Red Bulls.
I started drinking, they did sponsor us, but they don't sponsor us anymore. I've started having 2 litres of Holy a day, which is, it's electrolytes basically. And I really struggled to get water down my neck. And it wasn't going into my body, it was just going straight through. As soon as I started having the Holy,
it was better.
I only go for like 2 litres a day, and I'm having 2 litres plus.
So you're absorbing the actual,
absorbing more of the water, and I feel incredible.
That's the thing, and it makes such a massive difference. I noticed it big time. Like say, I only drink water now. I don't drink anything else. I haven't done for a while.
My second daughter was born 7 weeks ago, and I don't feel tired. So that tells you.
Yeah, that's exactly. Yeah, and it's surprising how much water makes a difference to you, isn't it? Like massive difference. So let's say, and like I say, but. While I'm doing that, obviously the window clean, obviously like all window cleaners do, they do the gutters, they do the fascia soffits, conservatories, all of that.
Extra services on top of the window.
And that's the thing. And I was doing the gutters, and I thought...
Were you doing them by hand, or did you have a vacuum?
At the time, doing them by hand. All ladders, everything was ladders. It was only the waterfed pole that was sort of from the ground. And I was whacking ladders up, clearing them out.
So did you have, I just popped in my head. Did you have, out of those 600 window cleaning customers, were some of them still traditional, or did you move them all over?
Every single one was moved to waterfed pole.
In that transition, did you find that you lost some customers that wanted that traditional?
I had a few that were real unsure, and they said, well, we had a waterfed pole guy before, or the newer customers, but we prefer the traditional. And I said to them, look, I said, I'll do a waterfed pole. If you are not happy, you get it for free, and then we can maybe reevaluate. Not one of them said that they weren't happy with it, because I think I'd spent the time learning how to do it. There's so many splash and dashes out there that I think it gives a lot of window cleaners a bad name.
Yeah, I've seen a couple on Facebook. I try not to get jobs from Facebook anymore, because I think they're just like, not from the paid ads, but from the groups, because there's about 90 different people promoting their businesses. I think I just feel like I'm not whore.
Some sausage fest of window cleaning.
Be a 25 quid job. It's not me. But there was this particular job, and she was like, "We're looking for a traditional window cleaner. We had the water, and it was all spotty. So we had the brush.
We had the hose pipe. That's it.
What? We had the sprinkler system. I messaged her and I said, "I'll come clean your windows with the water-fed pole." For free. I said, I won't charge you. If you're not happy, no harm, no foul.
100%, nothing to lose.
I said, I know you've not had, someone do a proper job. She never replied to me. But
Oh, really? Yeah.
I think it goes into their message requests, and they don't see it.
Yeah, that's the thing. I suppose. Again, I don't know how Facebook works.
Job if they haven't got their privacy. I don't really know how it works, but if they haven't got like open privacy settings, then it goes into a message requests folder. It doesn't give them a notification, and unless they know to look in that folder, they're never going to find your message.
That's the thing, isn't it? But yeah, a lot of people. Again, it's like anything, isn't it? They're unsure. I think even now, I find a lot of people with the vacuums getting on Skype. They're a bit like, well, how do you know what's in there? And you explaining the cameras, and then you still go up with a ladder and have a look if you need to. But yeah, no. So most people absolutely fine. I had a lot of people that they had a traditional window cleaner and said, look, we want water-fed pole. We've got a slate roof, and he used to walk on it, and they've cracked tiles.
I had a couple of customers like that.
They wanted the benefit of the water-fed pole. And again, I think if you do it right, you're not going to do it wrong.
No.
Yeah, I know that's obvious, but do you know what I mean? If you're not rushing, like I say, I see a lot of window cleaners driving around, and I've watched a lot, and I don't know how they can do a window so quick and get good results.
See, I
think it's
feel
insane.
like I'm quite a quick window cleaner, but for me, it's everything I do in my business is about efficiency. So I've got the right amount of hose on my pole, so I know where to stop pulling my hose to get all the way around the house. I'm not doubling back and pulling more hose out. Those properties I've been to 10s, 20s, 30s times. I know exactly what route to take. I've worked out, I've tried it both ways. So I can be at a property 8 minutes.
And get it done.
Which even I sometimes think, if a customer's watching me, they're gonna not want to pay me my money.
Yeah, you're charging
but
20 quid there,
what they don't realise is that I've spent a lot of time figuring out where to park.
That's the biggest thing, parking your van.
Yeah. If you don't park properly and you've got to pull out too much hose, or God forbid you park too far away and you run out of hose.
Yeah.
You know, and like I've got the double stack wheel with, I've got on the top one I've got my 40-foot pole attached. On the bottom one I've got my 22.
Yeah.
So I even know now, instead of getting to a house and I'm like, oh, well, I won't reach that window, and then have to come back, reel in one, reel out the other. I know exactly what pole I need. I'll just use that pole.
That's the best thing though, isn't it?
Out.
Like, it makes such a difference to your day. Like say all of those things, and especially the more you do it, and you think, right, now I'll park there, I'll pull it. Are you rear of the van or side?
I'm rear, yeah.
I see. I've always been side of the van, which I've always liked. I've had rear of the van. I didn't like it.
I've got the bigger van, so parking it can be a bit of a problem.
That's the thing, yeah.
So I think with the like medium size or small vans, the side mount can work a lot better.
Yeah, definitely.
But if that van regularly, I park next to something, I can't get my side door open.
Right, okay.
And that'll be the only place to park the van.
Yeah.
So rear doors for me. Or if I'm doing like a main road job and you've got to reverse onto the driveway, then I've only one side door. It will be the side next to the fence or something. It's just
I've seen people they've drilled through the back of the van, through the floor, and then they've got like a roller underneath, and they can take it in any day, and they look amazing.
They're so expensive.
I bet they are.
About 180 quid.
Is it really?
Per roller.
Right.
So if you need one for the floor,
and then the other
one on an arm.
Yeah, I can imagine
you're looking at the 500 quid.
That's a lot of dough, isn't it?
Without like probably.
Do you know what? The people that have those are people that have ionic systems as well.
Yeah, and I think if you're like Dan Smithson, who we had on, who tried, scaling up, decided it wasn't for him, and then he's probably got near on 30 grand worth of setup. Hot water. Yeah. I think he's got an ionic system or pure freedom system maybe. Okay. Electric, double electric hose reel. But it's for him. Yeah. And it's convenience for him. So
there's nothing wrong. Like I say, my system. Obviously, I only do gutters now, but obviously I still have the water tank, the twin. Mine are the twin.
Soffits and faces.
Yeah. So I still need all the gear, and obviously I will still clean windows when I'm doing a full fascia and soffit clean, because obviously I don't want to leave those minging in there. So I've got the twin stack Pure Freedom that comes out the side, and then I use the gardener's poles as well. I'm thinking about going to the over 8s because I've seen those.
So have you got the twin stack just because you already had that?
Yeah.
Not because...
Yeah, I've got the twin stack. I bought the twin stack because I had the 2 singles, and it just didn't work out, and I never found the quality was brilliant, so I bought the twin stack. It was on offer on Pure Freedom, and I thought, do you know what, that's a real good deal to get everything.
Yeah, mine wasn't a good deal.
Yeah, I think I bought the twin stack, the frame, the twin hoses, all the gear, all the accessories. I'm pretty sure I got a deal for 289. I could be completely wrong, but it was 600
quid just for the double hose.
I got mine years ago, and it's incredible. Like the condition of it still now.
Yeah, I hope they got bought by. We were talking about they got bought by window cleaning warehouse.
I did hear Dan saying about that. Yeah,
prices just probably
got extortionate. That's the thing. Yeah, when it was just Pure Freedom, it was fantastic.
It's some of the stuff on Pure Freedom's website, which is on window cleaning warehouse's website.
Yeah,
same product.
Right.
50, 60 quid different.
Is it really?
Same product.
Yeah, but
even though they're still owned by the...
You say that as well. It's the same with the gutter vacs though, because Skyvac, and I get my stuff from Gutter Sucker Direct,
which is owned by Skyvac.
Which is owned by it's all Spinner Clean, and the juniors, like all the stuff, all the poles, everything's the same.
Yeah.
But on Skyvac it's dearer.
I think so. From how I understand it, and I might be slightly wrong. But Skyvac is an American brand,
right?
And Spinner Clean are invested into it, or something. Yeah. And Spinner Clean is the home of the Skyvac in the UK.
Yeah.
They're the manufacturers, but it's manufactured, I think, in the US.
Right.
They've then created a brand of their own. Spinner Clean have created a brand of their own.
Yeah.
Which is the same vacs, but just branded differently.
That's exactly it.
But because they've not got the Skyvac premium on them, for whatever reason, they're able to sell them a little bit cheaper.
Yeah.
But you are right, they are effectively the same batch.
Yes, and it's like I say, and it's
I think
same thing.
Lots of companies do similar
probably
things
do,
to that,
yeah.
where they'll create. So I actually, funny enough, came across it recently with baby milk formula. So I've gone to get the formula. I'm on the phone to my wife. She's like, "Oh, don't get that one. That shit. Get this one."
Yeah.
And we had a lactation specialist helping her out with breastfeeding.
Yeah.
At the start. So she called her and asked, and she said, "No, they're all the same.
Right.
They're all exactly the same." And then my wife said to her, "Oh, well, I'll tell him to get anything but Cow & Gate."
Right.
And she went, "Why?"
Yeah.
She went, "Oh, they're shit." She went, "Well, Cow & Gate owns Upselling.
Right.
Upselling owns Cow & Gate.
Yeah.
They're the same milk,
Okay, so
but in 2 different packages.
yeah, it's crazy, isn't
They
it?
are identical.
It's the same thing. It's just
50p difference in price.
Yeah. I think a lot of ibuprofen's the same. There's a lot of things.
Well, yeah, ibuprofen is ibuprofen.
Yeah,
isn't
that's it. But you can pay for the Nurofen, or you can pay for
the brand,
Tesco own, and it's the same thing.
And this is we talk about this a lot on the podcast with pricing.
Yeah.
And it's you're going to do the same job as, effectively, someone with a Karcher will do the same job as someone with a 13 grand PWS hotbox system.
Yeah.
The finish will be slightly better from one or the other, but the job that it's doing is going to be the same.
Yeah, it's cleaning.
But should you charge the same price? Absolutely not. You should be branding yourself as a high-end company, which is exactly what they're doing.
That's exactly.
It's a premium product.
It's the same thing throughout whatever industry, isn't it? And it's but yeah. So I can't remember what we was talking about. We was going on about doing. I think we were doing the add-ons when I was doing the window cleaning.
Yeah, you're doing the add-ons, yeah.
And I thought to myself, do you know what? I just want to do gutters. I love doing gutter work.
So how old were you at this point? How many years into business? You've been 14 years, is that
15,
right?
2008 I started, September 2008.
So you're coming up 15 years.
Yeah, so it was, I've always done the gutters as part of it, and I was I had a lot of regulars that say, "Oh, can you do the gutters as well?" And I was finding that I would do a day where I'm just doing gutters, and then another day I'd just maybe doing gutters, or a neighbour would come out, and I'd be thinking, hang about, I'm earning way more money here doing this, and I'm enjoying my day better, or I'm less stressed.
Less jobs to go to.
Yeah, less jobs, less driving, everything is working out better. And I thought, you know what, I'm just going to smash this out. This is what I'm going to do. So I literally went on my laptop, and I was like, right, how do I build a website? I had no experience of building a website. Didn't know anything about it. Like I say, the window cleaning one I'd done previously by a guy that worked for, that's what he'd done. I think he'd done all the William Hill websites and things like that. Yeah, he was real good at it. But I didn't know how he'd done it.
You was probably one of the only window cleaners with a website at that point.
Probably, I may very well have been. And it was a decent website. Like, you see some websites out there that are just a few words and
shocking.
Yeah, and you think, well, that's...
Yeah, how are you getting any customers for this?
Exactly. And I've got this real bad habit of, if I see a website, I'll type it into my software just to see how it performs, and I'll look at everything.
Yeah, you get obsessed.
Yeah.
I remember when I was doing, I had a marketing company for a little while, and I had all the tools and everything, and you just find yourself, you're half the time you don't actually know what you're looking at as well. It's
exactly.
Just
you just see a bunch of numbers and figures and you're thinking,
okay. They're doing well. You don't know how they're doing well.
No, that's exactly it. But it's how I learned a lot of the stuff by just researching everything. But so like I say, I built a website, and it was right.
Or was this the birth of Rayleigh?
This was the birth of Rayleigh Guys. Yeah, this was me thinking, right, this is going to be now a separate company. I've still got the windows, but this is going to be a separate company where I'm going to bring, because what I didn't want was people going, I had it a lot where people would say to me, well, we don't want a window cleaner, we want a gutter person. And I thought to myself, well, a window cleaner can clean gutters just as well, but I was hearing it a lot.
You're on 2 bites of a cherry, basically.
Yeah, and I'm thinking, okay, well, I'm going to separate myself, because on my window cleaning website, I had window cleaning, gutter cleaning, conservatory cleaning, blah, blah, blah. I thought, right, do you know what, this will be a clean break, and the only thing that will be on there is gutter services, repairs, replacements, and that's all it was. So I set it up, not really know what I was doing, and I look back now, I can see back, I can see previous incarnations of it, and I look at it now and I laugh, thinking, this if I had seen that now, I would be looking at going, oh, dickhead.
You thought it was the bollocks.
Yeah, I did. At the time, I thought, oh my God, I've made the best website in the world, but it was
it probably
shit.
was really good at the time.
No, I don't think it was. No, I think it was shit. I think it was absolute crap. And I didn't know nothing about it. I put stupid pictures on there that weren't mine. I just got them off of Google and just picked anything and just put a few words, and they're going, oh, I'm a gutter cleaner in Rayleigh.
Yeah.
And thought that'll do. I thought, everyone in Rayleigh is going to come to me now for their gutter cleaning, and it didn't happen. And I was like, what am I doing wrong? And then I looked at it a bit more, done a bit more research. I thought, oh, okay, right, I'll change this and I'll change that. And it took that website 6 months. And I changed something, and I don't know what it was that I changed. I changed a few things. And then it rained, and the phone rung all afternoon. And it was all in one area. It was all in Billericay. And I'd had Billericay as a location on my website. And I was like, hang about, that's never happened before. What have I changed? And I thought about it, and I thought, well, I've changed that, and I've changed that. If I do that on every other page, maybe... And from that point on, the phone didn't stop ringing.
Probably got caught with sandboxing a little bit as well.
Yeah, maybe.
When you start a new website,
yeah,
they don't like to rank them.
No, that's exactly it. And
3, 4, 5
that's exactly it. And I think, like the domain had become a bit more sort of authority, and
spent some time.
Yeah, and so whatever it was worked out.
Yeah.
And the guys
was Google My Business around at this time?
Yeah.
Or was this, it was.
Yeah, it was done differently then. Like now you have to do it through Maps. Back then you had an actual My Business profile, and there's an actual app for it.
Yeah.
They don't do that anymore.
Yeah, I remember.
And yeah, so I was on there again. That wasn't optimized. That was literally just gutter cleaner, like nothing. But the website was getting attention, and I thought, okay. And then I was learning about backlinks, and then that became a separate obsession.
Yeah.
It was now all of a sudden, now I just want to know everything about websites and how to make them. And I'd spoken to some other people about building the website or taking that one on, and they was giving me silly numbers.
Yeah.
I was like, I ain't paying that. Like some of these people wanted like £600-700 a month,
yeah,
and I'm thinking, for me, it probably is, but to me, I thought that's a lot of dough that I can invest in better equipment or pay myself more money. So I just thought, you know what, I'll keep learning, and that's what I've done. And I kept changing things till I got to a point where I am now, and it is just self-sufficient. I don't have to do anything else.
Anything on it now?
The only money I spend, obviously, I pay for the hosting, the standard things.
Stuff,
the only thing that I pay for is £60 a month to Thompson Local, and they run me Google Ads. Don't ask me why I do Thompson Local. A woman rang me one day and said to me, we're running a special thing, and I'd never really thought about Google Ads. I'd looked at it, didn't know what I was doing. I thought I'll leave that well alone. And she said, look, let's just stick you on this, see how you get on. She went, you can cancel any time you want. And I thought, you know what, I'll give that a go. I got a backlink with it, a do follow backlink, which is again massive for websites. And I thought, I can't really lose it. Like, there's no 12-month contract. I can literally see what happens. And I'm still with them now, years later. Still pay them 60 quid a month. Yeah, still speak to the...
You still get the same, you still get leads through?
Still get, I get a performance report every month. I've still got the same account manager. She rings me every 2, maybe 3 months, just says, oh, how's things going? She sends me a report every month. So from my £60 a month, I get, I think the last one, I got 1,000 impressions, and from that I got, I think it was 70 clicks. So that's a 7% click-through rate, which is insane. And that's been pretty standard throughout the whole time I've been with them. And
there's no way to track how many of those have actually inquired. It's just they've come through to the website, so they've clicked on the advert, it's gone through, how many I've converted or whether they've come through to me, and it doesn't include if they click the phone call link. That is purely just going through to the website. Well, it's still good.
But I did notice an upturn as soon as I started that as well, and I thought,
it's less than £1 a click, isn't it? Which you wouldn't get that if you was running the ads yourself.
Absolutely not. No, nowhere at all. I literally tell her the keywords I want, which are gutter cleaning, gutter repairs, I think gutter replacement, there's a few others that she puts on
there
there as well.
local or just in general
it's
terms?
all
Local.
I don't know how they actually work it, to be honest, but obviously she knows the areas I work. I think she does a radius on her end, and they do the magic. I don't really get involved. It was just something that I thought, well, do you know what, it's doing the business.
So backlinks. So explain to anyone listening what backlink is before we.
So backlinks. So you got two type of backlinks to any website. You've got do follow and you've got no follow. Do follow's the ones where Check a Trade, for example. I think we spoke about this before. It's a visible text on their website that if you click on it and it goes through to your website, that's a backlink. If it's given the do follow attribute, Google sees that as you've got some authority. This website thinks that you know what you're doing. And that's what Google want. No follow, a lot of people think no follow links don't have any value, but they do, because you don't want all do follow backlinks. I think it's something like 80%
so
do follow.
So the no follow ones are like more organic, aren't they?
Yeah,
so
and no follow
mentioned you somewhere.
Yeah, or they can be a lot of directories and no follow links. Blogs are no follow a lot of the time. If you put your link in there, it'll be no follow link. Facebook are no follow links. Like all of the social media are all no follow, but that's still good to have because people can still click on your link and it will go through to your website.
Social proof, isn't it? They look at the no follow links. It's like, this is a real person. Alongside, you got to have both. Though.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, you need to do follow and the no follow.
And you can get them organically by reaching out to people. You can pay for them.
You can pay for them, which ain't always the best. I've paid for them, as in I've not done link farms or anything like that where you pay like a $5 on Fiverr or anything like that, because I think that's one of the worst things you can probably do. Yeah, really, because you'll get your link sent through to a spam farm and Google go, no, I don't like that. There's 10,000. So I've done blogger outreaches where I've had an article written and my links have been within that, and it's like the anchor text again. It'll be like maybe gutter cleaning in Rayleigh or Rayleigh gutter cleaning. It's something like that. So when they click on that, you go through and again Google look at that and go, okay, this is about gutter cleaning. It's in a big article that's about gutter cleaning. This is a good website to go to. And again, the website that you're getting a link from, if they've got authority, like Check a Trade, it will pass on link juice. So when you get do follow backlinks, every website has got an authority from 100 down to 0. 0 will be your brand new websites, 100 will be your Facebooks, your Googles. I think Google's 98. If you can get backlinks from something up there.
Mental, innit? The Google's 98.
I know, and it fluctuates as well. It goes between 98 and I think 93 I've seen it drop down to. I think it depends on the amount of traffic they're getting. So I think sometimes they could be getting 56 million. Yeah, I was mental though. The people that are tracking the traffic are Google. So I know.
How are they ranking them down?
I know, traffic. It's bizarre, isn't it?
The traffic is coming from Google.
It makes zero sense, but it's bizarre. But then, like I say, you Check a Trades. Anything that's got that higher presence,
80s, 90s.
Yeah, if you can get your backlinks from them to your website, you're doing well.
You could almost probably do one of them, and you'd be.
Yeah, laughing. I mean, you need a few. Mine, when I look at mine daily, I've currently got 2,000 backlinks to my website, give or take. It fluctuates roughly. But as well, I've just changed my domain name. So I lost a lot of backlinks and they're slowly coming back. And I changed my domain name, which is, if anyone doesn't know what your website is, www.rayleigh-guttercleaning.co.uk. It was Rayleigh Gutter Cleaner, but the term gutter cleaner doesn't get as many searches. So I was thinking about that. Gutter cleaning obviously does get a ton more searches. I think it's 22,000 a month. So I changed that.
Interesting. So when I was, when I was still doing my marketing, which was 5 years ago now, it's quite a while, the exact match key terms or like for your domain name was becoming less and less important. Do you think that's still happening?
It's not as important, no. It's the most important thing for your website is your H1 tag, the main title of your page. The title tag, so if somebody types in gutter cleaner, when the websites come up and it has that first bit of text, gutter cleaning in Rayleigh or whatever it is, pressure washing in wherever, those are the most important things. And then your content. they're the most important things. The pictures you put on there, making sure they've all got your alt tags, everything done properly. I see websites that are built by professional companies, and they go, and I'll research thinking they must do everything perfectly. And I'll run an audit, and I'm thinking these people are paying this company thousands of pounds probably over a year, and they're not doing their job properly, which is another reason why I do it myself. But yeah, they're the most important things.
It's a valuable skill to learn,
massively.
even basic level, because
100%.
if you are paying someone, you should really know.
You want to know that what you're paying.
You want from them. You can't just say, I want to be number one on Google.
No.
Well,
it's not going to happen. And there's so much more to it, because there's the amount of companies that go, we can get you to Google within 2 months. And I'm thinking nobody can guarantee that. It is impossible to guarantee anything. You need so much to work for you. I think a lot of these people say we can get you to the top of Google because they're saying they will do the Google My Business page, which is a lot easier because you've got the 3 local search in the search pack, so you can get that to number 1.
So you still do work on that as well, don't you?
Yeah, that's what everything's optimized. So the Google My Business page is, I think you get 1,500 characters. I've used every single one of those to write everything out in a perfect way, so that it's got every keyword in it.
How many keywords do you focus on?
My website currently ranks, I think, 508 keywords.
But how many? So the website will rank keywords that don't necessarily need or want them to rank.
Ones that
How many do you focus on?
Probably around 80 to 90.
Okay, so a fair few.
And that'll be a variation of gutter cleaning, cleaning gutters. How much does gutter cleaning cost? That sort of stuff.
And then is that those same keywords with locations on the end as well? Or?
Some of them will have location on the end. Usually I'll just put Essex, because Essex will bring me in the whole. I will cover the whole of Essex. I do have individual pages.
Well, I guess.
It's you say that it's not much more. If somebody put gutter cleaning Essex, I'm pretty sure it's about 300 clicks or searches a month, whereas gutter cleaning Rayleigh, I think, has got about 80. 75 of those are me probably. Just
checking where you rank.
Checking where I'm ranking. So it's not a massive thing. Most people will just type in gutter clean, and as they do that, Google will then say what they think they're going to type, and then they'll click on gutter cleaning or gutter cleaning near me, which will then bring the locality and where I am into relation.
So it does all that automatically for you, really?
It does, as long as I've got the keywords running through my text.
And I guess you've got to have those locations on your website.
So I've
not necessarily as optimised keywords, but maybe a page.
I've got each individual page. I've got, I did have it in my foot, and I read that wasn't the best thing to do.
That was old school. So when I started my first business with my best mate, SEO was like, no one did SEO. No. Wasn't a thing. And a friend of ours from school started an SEO company at the same time. Multi-millionaire now.
Oh, really?
Very, very successful.
Nice.
But he started doing it the proper way. So he was very, ahead of the curve. But before then, the go-to for anything SEO was you would have, I can't remember what it was called, but basically you'd have hidden text. It was always like you'd hide it behind a square or something.
Or you could make that writing the same colour as the background, so you could have white writing
or you hide it behind an image or something, and you would just write your keywords on the page
over and over.
Like window cleaning Rayleigh, window cleaning Hadley, and just have them listed out.
Absolutely spammed.
And it worked.
Oh, massively.
Worked crazy.
Massively.
And there'd be websites out there with 800 pages of all different keywords with different locations, and they were killing it.
There's absolutely dominating, and people were thinking, how would they do it? And then it become massive.
Around here you probably spoke to, because they ring everyone, Safe Tech. No, you probably get a call from them now.
What are they?
They're a marketing company.
Oh, okay.
They were doing that. They developed some sort of code or something where they'd just take your website, they'd plug it in, they'd press and it would create 800 pages on your website with all your different keywords location.
That's insane.
And they were charging like next to nothing for it. It was so spammy. And it was as it was coming out of, as Google, because they do like a Google update every 3 months or something.
The algorithm changes constantly.
It was at that point where they were saying, right, we've got to do something about this. It's far too easy. You can create a website and within 3 months you're ranking on Google for
and that's the thing.
2,000 keywords.
And a lot of shit companies were getting all the work, and I think that's when Google was like, hang about, we want good tradesmen and good companies, good businesses that are going to be. So you've got to know what you're talking about to be able to.
Authority, haven't you?
That's exactly it. And then I mean, we could talk about for hours your authority, topical maps. Like there's millions and millions of different things that you can go through.
So we've touched on sort of the website marketing stuff, the Google My Business stuff.
Yes.
That's something that I think a lot more. So I know a lot of people don't have websites, or it is just alien to them to have a website, let alone starting to try and rank it on Google.
Yeah.
But a lot of them have Google My Business, obviously free to set up, very quick and easy.
Yep. A necessity as well for any business.
I think a lot of marketing companies are now selling Google My Business marketing rather than SEO.
Yep.
Because it's slightly cheaper.
100%.
So you do all that yourself?
Do everything myself, yeah.
What are your top 3 tips for Google, or top 5 tips
so
you can throw without going into too much detail?
Straight away, fill out the description and literally pack it out. Don't
use
just
all 15.
Yeah, literally use the whole thing. So be descriptive with it, put your keywords in it, but don't spam it. So if you're again doing gutter cleaning, pressure washing, just write it so it goes naturally, saying we offer professional pressure washing in Rayleigh or throughout Essex. Like just natural, as in somebody's reading it and they thinking, okay, I know what they say. I don't need somebody going, oh, we do pressure washing and pressure washing and pressure washing here.
They can come check out your one if
they can.
They want some
more than
there,
go and read it. Yeah,
I'm definitely going to.
and that's the thing. And then just list out your services again, just naturally. Write out what you do. Write out anything special about yourself, like. As I was saying to you, I'm trading standards approved. Yeah. Add it on there because Google like it. They will read that. And
Google is super smart as well. So
they're clever.
He knows what that means.
Yeah, straight away.
Incredible.
Yeah, and build your reviews up. I will give all my customers a link to my review, like to my reviews page. Build up your reviews.
You just go for Google reviews now.
I do. I've got obviously my Google reviews. I've got Checkatrade reviews, but I only done the Checkatrade reviews just because I've got the profile where you paid a 30 plus that £36, but that is again for the backlink because I think their domain is 91 rated. It's one of the best backlinks you can get.
Yeah, I'm on that
for £400 a year.
I won't ever drop that one.
That's it. Just that backlink is worth it.
On your Google My Business profile, Checkatrade is integrated into that.
Yeah,
now.
it can be. Yeah, you can link them all.
Reviews, your Checkatrade reviews.
Yeah, a few of them do that. Trustpilot, Proven Expert. All of those things.
I get a text message every 3 days now telling them how many days it's been since I last got a review on Checkatrade.
Oh really? Yeah. No, it is. Well, do you know what? I got a job through Checkatrade the other day, and I'm not listed for getting a job.
No, so they can still find you and contact you directly.
Okay.
So I had the same thing actually, not that long ago. Job from Checkatrade.
Yeah.
Who'd found me on Checkatrade, seen that I was one of the ones with the most reviews.
Yeah.
And then called me directly.
Right, okay, so it does work. I think that's a great way of doing it.
He actually went onto my website to call me because he wasn't sure if it charged me to call me.
Oh, right, okay, yeah. A lot of people do that.
He was doing me a solid, yeah.
Yeah, he's trying looking after you. But yeah, so with that, put pictures on your Google My Business page, like real pictures as well of you doing the work. Don't just go and find a picture of somebody else doing it. Do your own pictures because, again, Google will know if you've copied somebody's picture. And
do you add your photos direct, or do you add them via updates?
No, I do both. So I'll post them, I'll do updates, I'll do offers, they'll all get on there in a mixture of different ways. I will often do a 10% discount on certain services, just again so that Google sees that I'm active. Always be active on.
Do you think the offers is a big part of the ranking? No, it's just something to.
It's literally just, and I've never ever had anyone actually come to me and say, "We see your offer on Google," but it's just a way to update, so that they can still see.
To pick one thing that you think is the most important for, firstly, ranking your website.
Yep.
And secondly. When I say ranking your Google My Business, it's on the map package.
Yeah, on the local search.
Ranking your Google My Business.
Yep.
Top tip, number 1 for each. Go.
number one for Google My Business, fill out every detail you can on there. Your locations, your description, your web address if you've got it, your hours that you work. Literally fill out everything. Pictures, pack it out with 10 pictures at least. Do you know what I mean? So people can go through and go, oh, look, they do this, they do that.
You look 100%. Like a real business.
Yeah. Don't just put a few words saying, I'm a gutter cleaner or I'm a window cleaner. People do not want to see that at all. They want to see...
I'm not even sure if Google would put you in front of anyone.
No, they probably wouldn't. And you will be at the top, like, I think the search pad, I haven't seen anyone number one apart from myself that you'll get the top 3, but I look at some of the others and they are just not descriptive. And get your reviews. Like people, I think you have to have at least 10 reviews to feature at all.
Really?
Yeah, I think.
So I didn't know that. That's a good tip.
Yeah, you have to get. I'm pretty sure it's 10 reviews. If you've got 1, 2, 3, they still won't even bother putting you on there. You have to have those reviews. So just give the link. You can go on your Google My Business page. You can get a copy a link. I've got it saved in my phone. I will then send a text to every customer afterwards saying, it'd be great if you could leave us a review if you were happy with the service.
That's exactly what I do.
It's so easy to do. Not everyone does it.
No.
People don't want to do it, and that's fine.
No.
But the people that do, fantastic. Website, most important thing that you can do is your headings. Make sure they are what you do. Don't make them too long. Don't make them too short. There's so much information on Google nowadays and websites.
Well, you can learn everything.
You can learn everything, and if you just spend a bit of time,
I think that's where people fall short.
Yeah, people don't want to.
Willing to put in the. They say 10,000 hours makes you an expert.
Yeah.
If you'd done 1,000 hours, you would know what you were talking about.
100%.
Like, to a T.
Yeah. I spend hours on my website. Hours.
Yeah, every time I talk to you, you're working on your website.
Always, if I've got spare time, I'm on my website,
exactly.
changing something or thinking, do you know what, actually, I'll change that bit of text.
And do you change it and then give it a week, see if there's any changes?
I check it daily. Yeah, I've got a software that I use, and it updates it every morning, so I can see where I'm ranking for the term gutter cleaning, whether I'm up, down. Yeah, I pay £40 a month, I think, but it's invaluable.
The people that won't pay that.
I know, it's ridiculous. This software, it's called SEObility.
There's a few different options.
There are a lot of them, and I do use a lot of them, but this is the only one I pay for. You've got Ahrefs, you've got tons of them. SEMrush.
I've got the free Ahrefs account.
And that's a good one. That will still show you.
Nightmare to try and open a free Ahrefs account.
Is it? I've done mine
recently.
No, not recently.
I've had mine for years.
Yeah.
And if you try and open a new account now, because I tried to open a new one for this business.
Yeah.
So I thought, well, because I had all my other websites on the other one, so I just don't want to muddy the waters. And to try and find the link to sign up for free it was a nightmare.
Really? Yeah.
I managed to find it in the end.
Yeah, it's always going to be there, but they want those paid options, and they're dear. That Ahrefs is dear for a monthly.
Very, very good though.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it will give you everything that you could ever need.
I think Ahrefs much easier to use.
Yeah.
I've not tried
SEObility. I find incredible. Like it's so user friendly. You put in your website, and you literally press scan or start crawl, and it will go through your whole website. It tells you every error on your website if there is any. It tells you how to change it, where to change it, and then it tells you how to better your website. And that's what I've done with my website. I put it in there. It showed me everything that I needed to change, and I literally went through, and that's probably how I learnt a lot of it.
Do you ever get to the point where there's just it doesn't give you anything to update?
I don't have to do anything to my website. The only reason I'll change things is so that Google can see my website is active and refreshed, and the content is fresh and relevant. I'll regularly do a whole website change. I will literally delete every bit of content, and I will refresh everything. I will rewrite it all, change all the pictures, change all the alt text. Not often, do you know what I mean? But once, I do mine every 6 months, like full refresh.
Do you use AI at all for any of that?
I use AI I use Google Gemini, and I will put in there a command. I will say, this is my current content, tell me where I can improve, and it will go, this is great, this is good, or if you add in this keyword, or you don't need this text in there, it's redundant. And so I'll take it out.
Okay, so it makes you a lot more efficient.
It makes the website more efficient. You get rid of a lot of clutter sometimes. Like, I made the mistake when I first started going, oh, your gutter's really disgusting and dirty. Yeah, and not even keyword stuffing so much, but I would put a lot of words in there that aren't needed. Oh, I love cleaning gutters, and this is the best job, like just stupid stuff.
Yeah.
Customers don't want to read that.
It's very difficult, I think, sometimes to like know what to write.
It's hard,
so
yeah.
I had 2 affiliate websites before I started Curbside. So I had one for like baby products,
Yeah.
which is very easy to write about because I had a baby. And I had one for pressure washers. This
Right.
was before Curbside was even thought in my head.
Yeah.
It just so happened I had this one for pressure washers. It's high ticket sales, so the commissions were much better. But when the pressure washing one, trying to think of words to write or paragraphs to write on the pressure washer, then you've got to write it about another pressure washer that's exactly the same without being the same.
Yeah.
And it is very easy to start doing that repeated.
Yeah, and duplicate content and Google
just gibberish, isn't it? It's like,
you can just go over and over and you're just wasting words.
And this like I didn't really have AI when I was doing that, so I had to sit down and write these blogs myself. And I was paying maybe 50 quid a blog to be written.
Really, yeah.
Because I needed to add 6 or 7 a week.
Yeah.
So I was writing 6 or 7 and I was having 6 or 7 written as well. But I couldn't afford to have 12 written.
No, it's bankrupt yourself to try to that's
so
it.
trying to do that and then getting this content back, and then like you'd have to reread their content because they might not have written it. And for me, I think the biggest thing when I was doing that was tone of voice, which is another thing I think is a ranking factor.
Yeah, readability as well. Yeah,
so you write it as if you're speaking
100%,
rather than like, and what we're taught in school, like when you write an essay, it's like structured, very structured. Beginning, middle and end. You have your intro, and you have you make a point, you explain it, and then you make a conclusion. Well, you don't speak like that.
No, not at all. It's not how it is. Yeah,
it's very like where we speak very unstructured.
Yeah.
So you need to. Well, for me, it was always talking, because I'm trying to review a product to get someone to buy it. Yeah. I had to speak to them.
Yeah, exactly.
And I think it's the same for this industry as well.
Yeah, definitely.
There's a time and a place for explaining a service professionally. Yep. But also you need that tone of voice where you're talking directly at the reader.
And you're giving the reader and the customer the information they want.
Yeah, you want to make sure that they know you know what you're talking about.
Exactly.
But you don't want them to read it like you're a robot.
No, yeah, exactly. And that's how I used to write. I used to write like a robot, and I would put loads of text on it going, oh, look at me, I know everything. People don't want to know that you know absolutely everything. They want to know that you know what you're doing and that you offer the service that they want. And that's the most important thing. But I see a lot of websites that have no or very little text on there. I think you need a minimum of 500 words.
Well, I think the more content, not in like gibberish.
There's a limit I've found.
But like more content the better.
Yeah.
As long as it's good content.
I would say between 500 and 1,000 words per page. Like, it depends on what the page is. Like, let's say service pages. Between that is, I find.
We used to write 1,000-word blogs.
Yeah. And I think that gives.
But if we were reviewing a specific product. It would be 500 words. Yeah. Because you don't want to spiel on too long about a specific product.
No.
If it was like a service page, 1,000 words. Yeah. Or a blog about, like, for example, we used to do ones that were like, should you let your baby sleep in? Or should you wake your baby in the night? 1,000 words, because...
Should you beat your baby because they're crying all night?
1,000 words. Yeah. But then if we were doing a page where it was like we were comparing multiple products, we'd look at 3,000 words.
Right,
But there's just more to be said.
Yeah, of course,
So if you're doing a service page for window cleaning, you want 500 words because no one wants to read 1,000 words of window cleaning.
Of course,
and no one definitely wants to read 3,000 words of window cleaning.
No, definitely not.
But if you're doing a blog about why you should have your windows cleaned all year, then 1,000 words might be good.
Yeah, that's exactly it.
You can make an argument for, you can make an argument against, you can make a conclusion. That's
exactly it. And that's what I've learned, doing little sections with relevant content in each. And it will, some weird hair hanging off my head. And you will get the reach that you want. You will reach the customers that you want, and it takes time as well.
Well, this is the other thing, isn't it? And how long would you say to start seeing results of working on it daily or even weekly? To get real good results, 18 months, easily. Like until I thought this will now just be self-sufficient, and even now, like I say, I go on my software sometimes and I'll see a dip in a keyword and I'll be thinking I ain't changed nothing. But then it's the other people that
they're doing well. They've got new backlinks. Maybe I've lost a couple of backlinks, and again,
new content.
Yeah, that's it. And that's why you're always evolving. Yeah. Like again, I think that's something that's massively important.
And I think that's the other thing that I always say to people: SEO, person at the top of Google is the one that's doing the most work.
Yeah.
So,
or sometimes paying the most money, like in our industry, Ben's Gutters.
Then it relates to they're paying the most money, but they're having more work done.
Oh, well, that's the thing. I mean, Ben's Gutters, I'm pretty sure they spend, again, I could be wrong, but I was told, I'm sure it's 15 grand a month.
I'll be surprised if it's not more than that.
It could very well be. That's again, and you think, well, as a local I'm not spending 15 grand a month. Like, I mean, that's ridiculous money.
Yeah.
Like,
especially if they're like nationwide.
Yeah, that's exactly it. They are nationwide. Like, but they're getting the work in to do that.
And then they've got all their leaflet campaigning as well.
That's it. And that's one thing I've never done leaflets. Never ever done leaflets.
So you're not on social medias.
Apart from Instagram, I'm on Instagram. That is the only one that I do, and I like that because I like sharing pictures. I like watching other things. It's quite interesting.
Bullshit on Instagram.
No, that's exactly it.
I don't post anything directly to Facebook anymore.
No.
I'll go on there and look at the pages and stuff, but it's the same questions being asked. But it's tough because I've got my own page on Facebook now. My own group on Facebook. And also, you're always trying to drum up listeners for the podcast.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
But for curbsides, I don't really post anything directly to Facebook. I post it on Instagram, and then it automatically shares it to Facebook.
Oh, does it?
Yeah, it's a good tool to have. I have had a few jobs off of Facebook, but nothing.
I get people ring me and they say, we got your number from Facebook, and I'm thinking, you definitely didn't. And they go, oh no, we put up on a thing, we need a gutter cleaner, and your name has been mentioned a few times. I'm like, oh, okay, that's fine. But I'm thinking, you definitely haven't found the business of me on Facebook. And I get work through Instagram as well. I had a bloke from Instagram that contacted me, had seen some work, and he wanted the full gutter replacement done, so I've done that for him. But that's never going to get, for me, it's never going to get me enough work.
Do you think not having the Facebook page is damaging to your business?
No, I don't. No. Not at all. I understand you can get work from Facebook, and if you didn't have other avenues of getting that work, maybe if your website wasn't as optimized or you didn't have a checker trade account or thing, then Facebook can work.
Not so much in that way, but more in the way that a lot of people will get recommended a company.
Right.
And especially on Facebook, which is where recommendations happen. Yeah. They then go and search for your business and they can't find you.
Okay. No,
do you think that they then think this guy's...
I don't know. I have no idea. Like I say, I make my website professional. What they hear on Facebook or whether they search me and can't find me on Facebook, I don't care. It doesn't bother me. I don't think personally Facebook is where you should want to get most of your business from.
So my philosophy on social media is you've got to tick all the boxes as a business, not necessarily for lead generation.
Yeah.
I know I do Facebook ads at the moment, but if I had my new website up and running, I'd be doing Google ads.
Yeah.
Because I think the intent-based marketing is much better than 100%. Facebook. But as a business owner, and obviously you've got leads coming in, you don't need Facebook.
No.
But if someone starting a new business, I'd say to them, get Facebook, get Instagram.
Yeah, do all of it.
Yeah, flipping LinkedIn, mate.
Yeah,
all of it.
Not
just for the social proof, but just because
Reddit,
you don't
Pinterest,
know where
all of them.
People are looking you up.
No, that's exactly it.
And I think as well, it's a real tough, as a business owner, you've got to realise that it's fucking hard work.
100%. You have to put the effort in, otherwise you are going to...
You can't just start a Facebook page and an Instagram page and then go, brilliant, done.
That's exactly
You've got to start posting photos on it. You've got to get reviews.
Yeah.
You've got to request
It's a separate business.
People don't go off on their own back and review you.
They
need to be pushed. They need to be reminded.
That's exactly it. It's like, I feel like it's a separate, not separate business, a separate job. doing all of that. You go and do your day's work. You have to put all of that graft in to get that business come in. Like, I only get the work come in with the gutters because I put all the effort in everywhere else, and I will spend sometimes a whole weekend just going through stuff, and I'll have people say, "Oh, do you know, it's a lot of time that you're doing it," and it's like, but
I'm working all the time.
It will get the work in, and it generates the business for me, and like I say, I love it. But it's for me, the website is perfect. Like I say, for what I do, like I say,
I think for anyone it would be, but they forget that you've put in 18 months worth of work.
Yeah, exactly. Solid.
To begin with, and then probably another few years worth of
constant
work on top of that, improving little changes,
tiny details,
and testing stuff, and improving here.
There's so much to go into it. Like I say, you look at everything, the speed of your mobile. Like mobile ranking is one of the
one that came in. How quickly it loads on mobile.
Yeah, if you're over, I think it's 2.5 seconds. Like for they don't like it.
It's something like 65% or 75% of searches are mobile now.
Something like that, I think on the data that I saw on my website is when I last looked a few weeks ago. I think it was 60% had come through mobile, and I think it was 30% through desktop, and then the other was 10 from tablet.
That sounds about right. I knew it was a high percentage.
It does fluctuate, but it will. It's mobile because everyone goes in there. They think, I just need a window cleaner. I need a gutter cleaner.
Well, it's just so accessible, isn't it?
It's there. Not many people going onto a desktop computer.
So, on the back end of my marketing company, when we were building websites for people, we'd build them in mobile. To begin with, and then optimise for desktop afterwards.
Right. Okay.
Because you've built a website. Once you build it on a desktop and you shrink it down, you realise that that's not in the right way.
It doesn't work. You have to redo it.
But generally, if you build it mobile and open it up, there's a lot more that's right. But that wasn't the reason. The reason was because the majority of people are searching mobile. You don't want to send a really good website off to someone for a desktop, and only 30% of people are actually going to see it, when 60% of them want to look on a mobile. Yeah,
that's it. Yeah, I do see that a lot on websites. Like, I'll click through and, like I say again, I'll be nosy and have a look at websites, and I'll look at their mobile website, and the pictures won't have loaded properly. They're over there. The logo's only there, and bits and pieces. And I'm thinking, if you just spent a bit more time,
it's one that bothers me. Buttons don't work.
Yeah, that's it. Or you click on the menu button and it doesn't come up with anything, and you're like, well, hang about, I want to see some more.
Mine's been white out.
It's what I mean. Little things though, isn't it? But straight away, as a customer,
I don't know if anyone else notices that, or if it's just like us because we know about it.
Maybe, I don't know. But it could be. But I think as a customer, I think if you manage your website as maybe a potential customer, thinking, right, how do I want that to work if I'm looking for this? Do I want to click there and go through to there? As long as I'm doing all of that.
Customer journey is quite a big thing with building 100%. A website. That should be your main priority. Is how is your customer getting from landing on your website to inquiring and making that journey as easy as possible?
Yep, exactly. Is it free flowing? Like internal linking on websites is another massive thing, linking from one page to another, so they know, Google knows this is all interconnected and using the right keywords, and something that, again, I didn't really know too much about when I first started, but now I confidently think I could build a website for any industry.
You wouldn't want to though.
No. Well, I'd done one for the ladder anchor, and I built that, and it bored me because I'm doing it, and I'm
starting from scratch.
Yeah, I'm just thinking, I've got to add the pictures on, and I'm writing the content, thinking I need to put this sort of stuff in, and it really did
the week
bore me.
My daughter was born 7-8 weeks ago. I told you about this offer I made on the uni.
Yeah.
Obviously it ended up falling through, but the plan was my wife was going to take the upstairs room as a beauty room. So I'd planned everything. I'd applied for a loan before I even found out whether it was all going ahead. And when she was in labour, I had my iPad with me, and I built a website for this business.
Wow.
And honestly, it's the best website I've ever built in my life.
It's sod's law, isn't it?
It's not. We will go ahead eventually, but it's just not happening right now. But sitting in labour, I should probably check it actually, because I've been up for about 36 hours. So it might not be as good as I remember it being. But it was so good. I was so happy with it. and everything was just how it was meant to be in my head.
Yeah.
And the colours worked and the logo worked. It was just brilliant.
Do you use WordPress?
Yeah.
Because we spoke about it because I use Wix.
Yeah.
And I know that WordPress has its advantages, but I think if you're looking to build a website and you've got no experience.
Maybe my views on Wix is a little bit outdated because it came out when I was marketing.
Yeah.
And we were always told that for SEO, Wix was not a great website to use.
Terrible, yeah.
But maybe it's just it's different now.
I definitely think it's different, and I definitely think that if you know what you're doing, the SEO in it, you implement yourself a lot of the time anyway. But anyone that's looking to start or wanting to get a website, I would always recommend it because it's so user friendly. 100%.
So what I use on WordPress is a thing called Divi,
right?
Which I paid a lifetime access for when I was working. So I'll have that forever.
Was that expensive though?
I think it cost me about $500 at the time. But because I was building websites for customers,
it works out.
And I mean, I've probably built 8 or 9 websites off of it for myself.
Really?
So, but that's very user friendly.
Yeah. Okay.
It's not drag and drop, but it's all modules.
Yeah.
And there's templates and stuff. It's
so you can use it without too much.
It's going to be one of the easier ones to build. So I'm not coded anything. There's a small amount of coding if you want to change certain colours and stuff. It's not like completely transparent with stuff like that, but it's quite a popular theme, so what you can't find online isn't worth.
If I just touched it, I turned it off.
No, you're fine. One thing I wanted to get onto after this was finance. So have you ever taken a loan, borrowed money to build a business?
When I first started, I think I borrowed some money off my mum actually, just to buy a couple of bits of window cleaning gear. But after that, the only finance I have is for my van, which I pay, I think, £300 a month. But that's because I've wanted a nice van. I had old shitty vans break down, or I'm spending X amount of money, like fortunes, thinking this is ridiculous. And I needed to be reliable to be able to get to my job.
That's exactly the reason why I've always had vans on finance. One, I'm not lumping out 10, 15 grand on a van. I'd rather have that in the bank account and pay £300 a month.
Yep, exactly.
The first 3 vans I got, so the first van I bought, I was £5 grand.
Yeah.
Just to get me started.
Yeah.
But then I had 2 transit customs. I didn't pay a deposit on either of them.
Did you not? No, I don't think I did. I think I paid £700.
Yeah. I had to pay the VAT up front on my van now.
Yeah.
Which was I think £4.5 grand or something.
Right, yeah.
But there was no deposit on the principal of the van. So and it's all tax deductible.
Yeah, exactly. It's a no-brainer. I think.
I don't know why anyone wouldn't do it.
That's what I mean. And you don't need to. I think a lot of people think that they have to be earning an absolute fortune to go and finance a van, and you don't.
They'll give you a van if you're bankrupt, right?
Yeah, that's what I mean. They'd chuck them at you.
It's depreciating asset. They want you to have.
They want you taking that van off of their showroom. They don't care.
They know they'll get the finance money from you.
Exactly. That's what I mean. It's to them. It's win-win. They cannot lose. So yeah, that's the only thing I do and have done for years and years and years is have a nice van. I'll chop it in every 4 years, get a new one.
So you own it after 4 years and then use
the first time I done it, I didn't own it. It was a 5-year term. I could have extended it for a further 5 years, but at the end of that 10-year period, I had to give it back to Fords.
Oh, so it was like a lease?
It was, but it wasn't, because I had my own personal plate on it. I can't remember what it was called. It was a weird setup, and this was from Ford at Rayleigh.
Yeah.
I can't remember. They don't do that anymore. No. It's not an option they do anymore. But I always wanted my private plate on there. So I had to, and I've always said that to them. What I do now, it's a 4-year term. And I can buy that outright when I want, or I can chop it back in, I can sell it, I can do whatever I want with it.
Do you have a balloon payment at the end?
Yeah, which I think,
payment slightly cheaper.
I'm pretty sure mine's 10 grand my balloon payment, and that's coming up in, I think, 2 years on this one. But I'll go and chop it in, so I'll use that money to then roll on to the next one, and I will keep on doing that, and just chuck all the gear in there, because the only thing that I do with my vans is, because I know a lot of people, they run split relays and stuff. See, I run a battery to battery charger, so I never have to take my leisure battery out, ever. Never have done.
I've just had solar panels put on. Well,
have you? Yeah, a friend of mine's had solar panel actually, and he's he's a camper van, but he uses it for work. Really I've never really thought about it.
I just bolted them to the roof racks.
Is it?
I had to drill one hole through the roof.
Yeah.
Which...
It's not the not the worst thing in the world, is it?
It's no one's going to check the
exactly. That's it. Who does? Do you know what? When I sold my last van back to Ford's, he was like, "Oh, what's the condition of it?" And I had a couple of little dings here and there. The inside, just normal wear and tear. But part of the door had been creased in because somebody reversed to me, and I thought, well, he's going to go and find it anyway. It hadn't been serviced for about 2 years. I was running it. Just thought, they're going to get it back. They'll get it back however I want it. And he literally looked down and he went, "That it was over there?" And I went, "Yeah." And he went, "Yeah." He went, "That's worth about 14. And I was like, yeah, probably. And he was like, "It drives, doesn't it?" And I went, "Yeah." I was like, "It drives absolutely fine." It was 5 years old. And he was like, "Yeah." He went, "I'll mark it down as this." And I'm thinking,
they make so much money on those vans.
That's what I mean. I couldn't believe it. And it's funny, when I went to collect my new van and took it in, I collected my new van, dropped off my one, and I think it was about a week later I had to go back with my new van because the central locking had gone funny for some reason. And it was a real simple thing that they had to do. And he went, "Your van was in a bit of a state, wasn't it?" And I was like, "I don't know, mate." I was like, "Yeah, it might have been." Whatever. He's like, "We had to do so much to it." I was like, "You should have had a better look."
Checked it, mate.
That's what I mean. Yeah. That's a you problem now. Like, that's not a me problem. But yeah, no, that's the only thing I do. I've never taken loans out for business. If I haven't, for like my equipment over the years, I started off with a cheap, I think it's an actual glass fibre pole. Yeah. This thing weighed a ton. Yeah. And I thought, I ain't got the muscles to do this all day long.
Like, one out there.
Mate.
I've got a glass fibre and an aluminium.
Oh yeah.
It's so heavy.
I was using it thinking, physically I ain't going to be able to cope with this. Like, I cannot do it. And then I found Gardner and found the composite carbon. So it's half carbon and then whatever, the red ones that Gardner do. And I bought that. And I just kept upgrading, and now, like I say, I've used the SLX poles for years and years and years. I might go to the over 8 just because.
So just have your own made.
Well, I know that you do, and I was actually going to say to you about that.
I've made that guy so much money.
Have you?
He's not paid me a penny.
Does he?
He thinks he watches this podcast.
Does he?
Yeah.
Maybe you should shout out to this guy because we need to be.
Asked him.
It's I definitely think that.
Like, it's such a good deal.
Is it?
That I'm just happy to share. You know when something's so good, you're just happy. I'm happy to recommend it. Like,
and they're the same quality carbon as like.
It's carbon fibre, yeah. I've not had a problem with any of my poles.
Have you not?
I've had one clamp snap, but that was because I was pushing my tower in and it caught one of the clamps. Yeah. So it's not even from work, from use. They last about, so they don't break. I've not had one break. No. But when they start getting to a little bit like the anti-spin gets a little bit loose, about 18 months of daily use.
Yeah. That's not too bad.
But like a 30-foot pole costs you like 190 quid.
Shut up. And are they compatible with the brushes? Like, so you can stick them all in?
I use an over 8 gooseneck.
Right.
Which I have to sand a small bit because it's oval, it's not it's not circular. So it just needs a little. I just put a bit of sandpaper around it and give it a,
and then it does the job.
Wank off. and then it goes in.
Little freebie for it.
It never comes out again.
That's what. Yeah, maybe that's what I should do.
Your logo put on it.
Yeah, because one of my clamps literally broke last week. I was literally doing one of the highest facial and software dons I've done, and I'm doing it, and the clamp, the clamp didn't break. It was the actual where it's glued to the pole. It snapped, and so my pole was just spinning, and it was the hardest day of my life. And
I'm pretty sure they used to make Gardner poles.
Really?
Yeah, the manufacturers.
And do you know what? Gardner poles are not what they used to be now.
No.
Like, they used to be so much better. Yeah. The quality has definitely gone downhill.
So I'm sure that at the moment he told me they're making ionic poles or something.
Oh, really?
They're manufacturing for them or whatever. Using their factory to make their poles or whatever.
Well, yeah, I think that's what I know. Because I use, my everyday, if I'm doing facial and soffits, and the windows on that is a 22 SLX.
Yeah, do you find that's long enough?
Perfect.
Everything. Yeah.
I've never had to, it'll get me the apex of a house.
22 daily at the moment, so I have 22 at the bottom, 40 at the top. Very rarely do I need to use the 40. I used it once today.
I've got the extensions to make it a 35.
Yeah.
I don't know, years. I haven't used it for years.
They gut poles as well.
Did they?
Yeah.
Really?
I've had a few people buy the gut, but I've not bought the gut poles. My good friend Jake, he bought some, and my good friend Sillard, he bought some.
Really?
They said that they are quality.
I might have to look, yeah, because I've...
like, so much cheaper.
Yeah, because I think the polls, like say Skyvac guys like direct, I'm pretty sure they're about £100 a section, something like
cheap,
that.
Yeah.
And
the elite ones are 180 or something.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's like, because I use the push fit ones. I've never bothered about the clamp fit. Like, I don't need them. Like, they don't.
They are a lot better.
Really?
Yeah, I've had both.
Okay.
They are better. But
yeah.
I don't know if they're it's 80 quid better.
That's the thing, isn't it? And the amount of mine I've stepped on, I've got 12 poles. And some of them are just saying it because I've stepped on them. Like, because I'll never get all the poles out. I'll leave the poles in my van, and then I take out what I'll know I need 3 poles from most houses. 4 occasionally if it's slightly higher, or if you're doing 3-4 stories. Then you know you need a couple more. But the ones that I have taken out sometimes, and I've stepped on, and I'm like, when you hear that crack, and you're thinking, fuck.
I'm sure you get about 12 poles for 600 quid delivered.
Really? That's such a good price.
I'm sure that's what still I've had.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure at the moment, I think you're looking to get 6 poles for that same money if you go.
Oh, you'd be lucky, yeah.
Yeah, it's about that sort of money. But
then they are the manufacturer.
Yeah.
There's no middleman.
No, that's the thing.
Directly from them. So it's always going to be a bit cheaper, and you can have your logo put on them.
Yeah.
And I think it's quality. And
it's just a little flex in a way, isn't it? And it's advertising as well. Like,
I know three of the people I've put onto them have started selling them.
Really? Yeah, it's well worth it. I'll have to take that number then and get involved.
I'll send him to you. He's a really good guy, really easy to work with.
Nice.
The same, no one I've recommended has a problem with him.
Really?
If they did, I'd stop recommending him.
Yeah. That's the thing, isn't it? If you use them and you're comfortable and confident using them, then you've got no issues.
Yeah, I think I've probably just got fucking screw loose because he emailed me like the scammiest email you've ever seen. And I was like, I've got nothing to lose. Yeah, let me give it a go.
You thought,
okay. You pay for a PayPal? Yeah. I was like, sweet. I'll be protected.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you can't go wrong.
Turn up, I'll just tell him it didn't turn up.
And then get your money. Yeah, exactly. You can't lose on that, can you?
But no issues at all. Came with brushes and pipe.
Did it?
First time.
Wow.
I don't get that privilege anymore. I wouldn't feed too many of them.
Yeah.
He knows I don't need them.
Nah. Yeah, that's it. But no finance. Nah, nothing. Like nothing at all. Everything I buy outright. My gutter vacs I bought outright.
Yeah.
I can't think if there's anything else that I've ever bought. Really, ladders.
I just applied for a loan today to get some new computer equipment.
Did you? Yeah. Oh, do you know I was saying that actually? My MacBook was on finance, and I did actually do that on finance.
Yeah, I'm going to get a new MacBook, a new Mac for video editing.
Nice.
And then I need a screen to go with it.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to get the Apple one. It's very expensive.
Is it?
Very expensive. 1,800 quid.
Is it?
I wanted 2 monitors.
Yeah.
Just to make my life a little bit easier, because I was like, I'm earning a little bit of money from YouTube now. It's warranted.
Yeah.
I don't think it would have been if I wasn't earning the money. But again, it's not something I want to pay out. I could pay for it outright, but again, I don't want to lump out. I think the Mac, desktop Mac, and the laptop about $7,000, just under $7,000 for the spec I want.
Yeah.
I'm quite comfortable paying that money because I know they're going to last at least 10 years.
All day long. So good.
But I don't want to unpack that money.
No, that's a lot of money, isn't it? It's to start chucking that sort of cash out, like say, and it'll be sod's law. You chuck out $7,000 cash, there'll be something happen, and you think, I need that money.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm pre-approved because I've already got a couple of loans. I'm pre-approved with Barclays. I'm consolidating everything so I get a better interest rate.
Yeah,
it's costing me about 90 quid a month.
That's what I mean. That's
what I'm paying now.
I think that's a no-brainer.
Like, I can warrant that.
Yeah, definitely. That's well worth it. I think 100%. But like I say, I definitely would do.
I'm very comfortable with debt.
Yeah. Do you know what? I've had debt, and I think if you manage it right.
I always like to ask the question to our guests.
Yeah.
Because I think normally you find people are absolutely against it. So Dan is absolutely against it.
Oh, really?
Hates it.
Yeah, no.
But he'd get van finance or whatever.
Yeah.
But if he didn't have to, he wouldn't.
Right. Okay. You can make money work for you in so many ways. Like,
but he's very happy to go and get a mortgage.
Yeah.
And on a rental property.
Yeah.
He's got a couple of rental properties, which I think, like, obviously they're unlikely to be empty.
No.
But he won't go and get a loan to get a bit of equipment that would earn him 10 times more money than the rental
different
property.
mindsets, isn't it?
So
it's funny.
It's always interesting for me to ask the question.
Yeah.
Because this loan that I've applied for, I might not get it, even though it's pre-approved, because they might not like me getting the computer equipment.
Yeah.
But I think that's not going to bring me any money indirectly. No. It's not something I can rent out for money. But it just makes, again, it's that efficiency thing.
100%,
it's slightly quicker. It allows me to do more than what I can do at the moment at any one time. I can have more tabs open. I can, if I get 2 screens, I can edit 2 videos at once. Not that I would do that.
No.
Brain rot.
Yeah,
but I can have like Photoshop open on one and Premiere Pro open on the other. It just makes my life that little bit more efficient.
Yeah.
And then I can take the laptop with me and do the same thing on the go. Right. Which at the moment, my MacBook Pro that I've got is 10 years old. So it's not capable of doing the stuff I need it to do.
That's exactly.
And I never expect that one to be good for video editing anyway. It's alright for doing your emails. I was thinking about it earlier and I was like, and I never even questioned when I was on the phone to Barclays applying for the loan. I never even thought twice about it being a bad idea. And I got off the phone and I was like, is this a good idea?
Yeah, I think it's a great idea though. Like I say, I don't think it's a bad idea. I wouldn't say it's a great idea.
No,
I think it can be a great idea. I think it's a bad idea if you get the money and you spunk it on a load of shit that you're not going to use.
That's exactly what I'm doing, really. It's bunking up a load of shit I don't need.
But you will use.
I'll use it every day.
And so then I think if you're using it every day, you do need it. Because I think it will make you more efficient.
I've got it at the moment. It's just making my life a little bit more efficient. And I'm just
trying to make you feel better.
I'm just playing devil's advocate here because it's like, if someone's in a position, and to put it into cleaning terms, right? So you've got, you've got the what is it called, the basic gutter sucker, the Skyvac atom.
Gutter sucker junior,
Right, but then you get 5 400 run commercial jobs.
So, but I've got the bigger ones as well.
I've got the little one. I don't need the bigger one. I've got the little one, but that's going to take me 5 days to do 5 jobs. Whereas if I get the big one, I can get 2 jobs done a day. It takes me 2.5 days rather than 5 days. Is it worth it? It might. Like, in my mind, there's no other answer than yes. But I feel like a lot of people we speak to, they say, no, you've got the little one. Just do it.
I think everyone's mindset's different.
Why would you lump out $5,000 or $4,000, however much the big one is for these 5? Just get the 5 jobs done. But if those 5 jobs come in again next year, or then off the back of those 5 you get another estate. It might not happen, but I'd rather be invested if it does happen.
Exactly.
I've got 2. I've got the big one and the little one for that exact reason.
And I use my little one for 99% of my work.
Exactly the same.
It's just so much easier lifting it, carrying it down tight. Like if you're going through somebody's house. The big one, if you've got a huge industrial job, again it will. But my little one, my junior, I've never had a job where it has not managed, even 3 stories with huge lumps of grass.
Exactly the same. And then I see these things on Facebook where they're like, oh, you have to have a set of ladders. I haven't got ladders that even go up to the gutter line.
Really?
Never have.
No. So I do, because I do repairs and replacements.
But the amount of people that argue to their blue in face and say, it doesn't matter if you've got a gutter vacuum, you still need to have ladders because there'll be certain parts that it's just not good enough. Or I've never had that problem.
So that's the thing. If that works for you, like I say, I've come across situations where I have had to get my ladders out though. Like I've had downpipes that I know are blocked, and there's no sucking it out. Like it'll be so far down in there that I physically it is not getting out.
I've never been called back to a job because it's still
overflowing.
So that might have happened, but I wouldn't have known.
No, exactly. So, whereas I've gone to jobs where somebody's called me up and gone, we had a gutter cleaned out last week, but the water's still flowing over the top. And I'm like, did they do the downpipe? And she's like, I don't know. And I've gone round it and the downpipe's blocked. And I'm like, did they use the vac? And they're like, yeah. But I think
all my customers.
I'll ask them, do you know Ryan geezer? No, I don't know. I'd say it's, again, I think it's just me being over particular. I will check a lot of jobs, but I air test my downpipes.
Yeah, I've started doing that since you mentioned it to me.
Yes, it's so easy to do, and
I've never really had a problem.
No.
But then I don't particularly get the jobs that are like I've never really had like a crazy job.
I'm guessing yours are, a lot of them are your window customers
Pretty
as well.
much, yeah.
That's it. So you're there, and
I like working easy, not hard. So.
I don't blame you, to be honest.
I think if someone had like a desperately blocked gutter, chances are they probably don't have a window cleaner. Because like, why would you look after your windows but not give a shit about your gutters for at least 5 years?
Actually, I see everything though. I see people with the most pristine, amazing houses, and their gutters are a mess. Yeah. And I go there and I'm like, how have you let your gutters?
So I'm going to tell everyone about a little plan I've got now, which I think would work really, really well for you.
Right.
Because you have a lot more of these like one-off, not necessarily one-off, but they're calling you for a problem.
Yeah.
I don't think it really works as a window cleaner. But if you like clean out drains, would be a really good one.
Yeah.
So they call you out because they've got a blocked drain or they've got a blocked gutter, or they need a bit of their gutter fixed.
Yeah.
Then you say to them, well, whilst I'm here, do you want me to do a free home report for you?
Okay.
Right? And this works very well for you because you know me.
Yeah, right.
So you do a little walk around after the job and you say, here's your invoice, here's your home report.
Yeah.
The home report says, well, your gutters are getting filled up because your roof's full of moss.
Yeah.
So we recommend having that done.
Yeah.
Or sorted out. You know, your soffits and faces are quite dirty, so we recommend having them cleaned. It prolongs the life of them.
Yeah.
Obviously something you can do.
Yeah.
Your driveway is quite mossy. In the winter this is going to get quite slippery and dangerous. We recommend having that cleaned. Patio, same thing. Anything else, render can be cleaned.
All of that sort of stuff.
And you just give them the report at the end, and you just say, look, if you have a think about it, if there's anything you want to know,
it's a good idea. And generate a lot more business as well. It's the ones the roof cleans that I gave you, like that was, he was saying to me, oh my gutter's always getting full up. And he said, oh, would you do the roof clean? I'm like, I don't touch roofs. I was like, I know, man, it does though. And then obviously I passed the job over to you, and then it just keeps everything. It was funny actually when he said to me that one that you done in Hockley, and he said to me, does he clean the gutters? And I'm thinking, I ain't saying the gutter cleaning away from me. I'm thinking, and I was like, well, he'll clear the gutters once he's done the roof cleaning. And I was like, but you need some repairs done as well. So I was like, so I'll do the gutter cleaning now. Because I don't know how long Ryan will take.
I wouldn't take it.
No. And but yeah, like I say, I'll always recommend. But I'll get a lot of people that say.
Well, I think it's a really, really good idea for anyone who does. And again, it doesn't really work for like regular customers. No. I'm going to try it with my regular customers. I probably won't even ask them. I'll just do it, send it over to them.
It's a good idea.
Like whilst we were there, we noticed the grass growing out your gutters, so we decided to do a full home report for you. I'm going to contact schools for it as well. I think it would be a big one. Yeah,
school gutter cleaning's great as well.
Yeah, I've done a couple of schools. But they've got the budget, they just don't want to spend the money, I find, with schools.
A lot of the time, I've got to go and quote one in Wickford actually.
Right.
Mate, I remember at Oakfield Primary School in Wickford, they wanted me to do their windows, and I stupidly was like, I'll do it, and this is years and years ago, and I went in with a ridiculously low, way too low. And
because they only have them done once a year.
And I was like, oh my God, what have I done? I literally wanted to quit halfway through the job and thought, Joe, I'll just delete my whole life just so that these people can never get hold of me ever again. I've done it, but
I've got a school round the corner that I look after. And I do their windows once a year. And first time we done it, I started at like 7:30. Right. Finished at like 8 o'clock in the evening.
Do you do all the internals of those?
Yeah, it's inside and out. And then second year started at 7:30, 8ish, finished at like 3. This year we finished at 1.
Oh, really? Okay.
But then it's like that efficiency thing.
Yeah, of course it is.
So we remember what we've done. So first year I done it with my wife. Second year done it with Dan. Third year done it with Dan. So Dan had done it twice, I'd done it 3 times.
Yeah, exactly.
So we knew where we were starting, we knew the layout of the school. We knew what we need to get into that next building. I bought I think it's called a Stingray.
Oh yeah, the triangular one.
Yeah, the internal window cleaner. I bought that not for that job. I bought it for I cleaned one of the car showrooms on Cherry Orchard. I bought it for that, and I've used it like 4 times.
Oh really?
But for that particular job,
it was amazing.
It was like we had to carry the ladder inside, and they've got like five like say this is like 2 panes, 5 panes worth of glass.
Right.
But don't start from the ground, obviously. They start
of course,
like normal window height.
Yeah.
In the whole part of the school. So first time I done it, I was carrying this ladder room to room, doing them by hand.
Yeah.
Absolute nightmare.
It's hideous, isn't it? Yeah. I've done one like that with Bannatynes.
Yeah.
I used to do the Bannatynes gyms and the inside of the swimming pool. And I used to take my ladder into the swimming pool area, stick it on the side of the swimming pool, because I didn't look at the internal cleaning kits now. And to be fair, I don't think I'd have been able to use them. Like the overhangs were so extreme. And people are swimming around, and I've got my ladder stuck up there, and they didn't close it off, they didn't care. And I remember saying, there was no such thing as real health and safety back then. Like they wanted the gutters done as well. And they went, how'd you get up there? I said, I'll just climb over your roof. And they was like, yeah, no worries, just let us know when you're done. And I was like, but it's one of the worst companies ever. No, nothing. Literally, they didn't want nothing. They didn't want to see insurance, anything of the sort. They did not care. As long as the job was done, they couldn't care less. But nowadays, you have to show, which is good.
You've got to do, we've just closed a big job, me and another fella locally, just closed a big job in Rayleigh for, it's like 4 blocks of flats, and all the roof, all the concrete seals, all the carpets, all the windows. I'm sure there's something else as well. We've got all the render.
Yeah.
We quoted that job, I think, back in June.
Right.
They're having we've got the job, but they're having the meeting to figure out when they wanted to start at the end of this month. It was meant to be end of last month, got delayed.
Yeah.
So we might not start that job until probably February time. Because I think January will be a bit too cold.
Yeah.
February, March time, and we quoted in June, so it's nearly a year's taken for that job just to come into fruition with RAMs, health and safety.
Yeah.
They had a big document of how they want things done, very particularly.
Really?
Yeah, very, very strange.
Yeah, I don't have many like that. I've got a couple that they want updated RAMs constantly, and that's fine, but I have mine is literally copy and paste. Every job is the same, I'll just send it over and I'm like, it's exactly the same, the date is different. Yeah, and it just goes through. And the bloke Leon, he's like, yeah, that's fine. And I'm like, he's no different. And he's like, no, I just need the updated date. And I'm like, okay, that's fine.
It's like you've got to send it to them for it to be, they can't just change the date.
No, it has to be
a paper trail of it.
Yeah, coming through. Exactly it. Yeah,
Right, so should we wrap this up?
Yeah, mate, let's do it.
You want to see us out?
No, you can do it. I'll do it.
Right, guys, thank you for watching. It's been another great guest episode. This will be coming out 25th, not this weekend, next weekend, which will probably be mid-December.
I'll look forward to it.
So it'll be just before Christmas. So
should have worn a Santa hat.
We're gonna do a Christmas special.
Oh yeah. Nice.
I bought Dan something, which means he's going to have to explain a story that he doesn't want to explain.
Well, a Secret Santa.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So don't tell him. I've got him.
I guess we're Ryze, but
But yeah, hopefully he tells a story on camera because it's the funniest story in the world.
Is it?
Yeah, I'm not going to give it away now.
Yeah, I look forward to that one then.
Very funny. But yeah, thanks for watching, guys. We will catch you again next week. Hopefully Dan makes it back from France.
Maybe.
We've got too many issues. Yeah. I think the train got delayed due to weather, so I don't know if they get in the storm that we had yesterday.
Yeah, because that was brutal yesterday, wasn't it?
But was it called Burr?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not surprised your phone hasn't stopped ringing this week.
Oh mate, it's as soon as I look at it and think, but sometimes it's too much. Like today, I haven't checked my phone. I think I've had 15 calls today and emails. Yeah, I haven't got back to any of them. Like, I don't know whether they were all work based, but sometimes you're like,
it gets a bit too much.
Yeah, which sounds like people are like, oh yeah, but you should love that, but sometimes you don't
I
want
get the same. So I took like with my last business, I haven't got to that point yet with this business, but we had like a virtual, what's it called, like a VoIP system. It was virtual, it wasn't an actual phone. So in between certain times, if they rung, it went straight to voicemail.
Right.
So it was, the phone lines were only open like during the day, and if they called outside that time, they'd just leave a voicemail and we'd get an email, so it wouldn't even come through to your phone.
Yeah.
So you didn't even have the anxiety of someone's called me and left a voicemail.
I have people ring me at half 11, 12 o'clock at night, 1 o'clock in the morning sometimes, and I'll wake up in the morning and I'll be like, They ain't for real.
Just outright refuse to do that.
Yeah, some of them I do think, nah, you're taking a piss.
Yeah, that's not okay.
Yeah, that's like, who in their right mind? Yeah, 1 o'clock in the morning. Oh, mate, what's that?
Yeah.
Nah, like.
How much discount can I get? You know, that's the next question as well.
Oh, mate, yeah, I'll get a lot of that. I'll give somebody a price. I will do the job. As I'm finishing off the job, they usually will ring me going, just wanted to check your payment terms. I'm going to sort your cash out. What discount can I get? You ain't getting no discount, mate. I've given you the price. But if it's cash, then I'm like, don't matter how you give it to me, mate. It's all going in the bank. Like, it don't work. But yeah, chances.
If you're not VAT registered as well, cash don't make any difference to you.
It doesn't do anything. That's what I mean. But I don't know. A lot of people, I guess, don't understand how it works. And I know a lot of people do.
I think it's just like old school.
Yeah.
Like, it works for like building trades because they're buying. They're VAT registered company. They're buying a load of equipment for your job, which they're claiming the VAT on, and probably getting a bit of a kickback as well.
Probably, yeah.
Then, if you pay them cash, they might be able to pay the supplier cash, which avoids the VAT. Or they'll just claim the VAT,
and still
on the purchase and not declare the income.
Yeah.
So you can do them a bit of a discount.
But,
particularly if they're making some money on the suppliers as well. But for us, just turn up and fucking like clean your windows.
Yeah,
no, I can't do a discount.
That's it. This is going to be the price, and that's it. Crack on.
Right, guys. Thanks for watching, and remember,
stay cleaning.